For 2,000 years, every merchant who wanted to move goods between India and China faced the same problem: the Himalayas. The highest mountain range on Earth stands between the two most populous civilizations in history. There are only the passes, the ancient, brutal, breathtaking passes through the roof of the world. And at the center of those passes sat a small kingdom in a valley that most of the world has since forgotten: Nepal. For 2 millennia, the Kathmandu Valley was a trading hub of global importance. The goods of India passed through it on their way to Tibet and China. The goods of China and Tibet passed through it on their way to India. And the Newar traders grew extraordinarily wealthy, sitting at the center of this ancient flow. Did you know that the Kathmandu Valley produced its own silver coins, and that these coins were accepted as currency across the entire trans-Himalayan trade network from India to Tibet to China? The Lichavi kings of Nepal were among the first rulers in South Asia to mint their own standardized silver currency. By the medieval period, Nepali silver coins had become the de facto standard for trade across the Himalayan world, functioning as an international reserve currency centuries before that concept existed in the modern world. To understand why Nepal mattered, you need to understand the geography. The Himalayas run for 2,400 kilometers, an almost unbroken wall separating India from the Tibetan plateau. But the Kathmandu Valley sits at a critical point where several passes connect directly to Tibet, and through Tibet to China. The Newar people understood this geographical advantage and built their entire civilization around it. Not because of their armies, not because of their territory, because of where they sat on the map. Did you know that the Newar merchants of Nepal maintained permanent trading houses in Lhasa, Tibet, for over 500 years? These establishments, known as Nepal houses, were granted special trading rights by successive Tibetan rulers. Newar merchants in Lhasa were exempt from certain local taxes, had their own dispute resolution mechanisms, and maintained direct communication with the Kathmandu Valley. They were, in modern terms, the first multinational trading companies, operating across sovereign borders with institutional backing centuries before European trading companies were established. The Newar trading families established trading houses across the entire Himalayan world. There were Newar merchants in Lhasa. There were Newar merchants in Patna and Varanasi. Wherever goods moved between India and the north, there was a Newar merchant ready to facilitate the transaction. Their most important role was currency. The Kathmandu Valley minted its own silver coins, and for centuries, these were the accepted medium of exchange across the entire trans-Himalayan trade network. The currency of a small mountain valley served as the dollar of the ancient Himalayan world. Did you know that Tibetan salt, carried through Nepal from the salt lakes of the Tibetan plateau, was so essential to the Indian subcontinent that wars were fought over access to the Nepal trade routes? Salt was not a luxury. It was a survival necessity. Nepal sat precisely between the salt-producing highlands and the salt-needing lowlands, and taxed the flow for 2,000 years. The goods that moved through Nepal read like an inventory of everything that made the ancient world extraordinary. From India, cotton, indigo, spices, sugar, copper. From Tibet, salt. This was perhaps the single most important commodity in the entire trans-Himalayan trade. The salt lakes of the Tibetan plateau produced an essential mineral salt that could only reach the Indian plains through Nepal. Also from Tibet and China, wool, silk, musk, and gold. At the center of all of this movement, taxing it, facilitating it, and profiting from it, sat the Kathmandu Valley. Every caravan paid. Every merchant stopped. Every transaction left something behind in the valley that was growing richer with every passing century. Did you know that musk, the secretion of the Himalayan musk deer found in Nepal and Tibet, was one of the most valuable commodities in the ancient world? Weight for weight more expensive than gold? The musk trade routes converged in Nepal before the product moved south to Indian ports and west to Europe. A product from the high Himalayan forests of Nepal was being worn in Roman palaces 2,000 years ago. The trade routes did not only carry goods, they carried ideas, art, religion, and people. Buddhist monks followed the trade routes northward from Nepal into Tibet, carrying the Dharma that would transform Tibetan civilization. Nepali craftsmen built temples from Kathmandu to Lhasa to Beijing. Tibetan scholars came south to study at the monasteries of the valley. The trade route was not a road for goods alone. It was a corridor of civilization, one of the most productive cultural exchanges in human history, happening continuously for 2 millennia in the shadow of the highest mountains on earth. When the British arrived and modern borders were drawn, this ancient network was disrupted. The trade routes that had sustained Nepal's economy for 2,000 years were redirected. The mountain passes became remote borders, but the legacy remained in the pagodas of China, in the monasteries of Tibet, in the bronze statues across the Himalayan world. Did you know that the pagoda architectural style found across East and Southeast Asia, in China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and Thailand, traces its origin to Nepal? The multi-tiered tower design spread from the Kathmandu Valley through the trade routes into Tibet, and then east into China, where it became one of the defining visual elements of East Asian civilization. Every pagoda in Japan carries the DNA of Nepali architecture. Today, Nepal sits between India and China, 2 of the 3 largest economies on Earth. The same geographical fact that made Nepal important 2,000 years ago has not changed. And yet, stand in the old market of Kathmandu, and you are standing in a place that was a global marketplace when Rome was the center of the Western world. That world is gone, but the valley that was its Himalayan center is still here, still beautiful, still extraordinary. still sitting at the crossroads of two civilizations. This is Nepal. This is what your ancestors built. And the mountains have not moved. Subscribe for a new chapter every Thursday.